Hey, it's Jack from Alpha Charts with a state of the market video. Today is September 23rd, 2023. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, thank you all for watching the video. If you haven't done so yet, please like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. You can also find me on Twitter at AlphaCharts365. And as you know, I do have a subscriber group with the stated goal of keeping you on the right side of the market and the best names possible. Listen, you know what? We got long the market at the end of May. We got neutral-ish at the end of July. That means high cash positions. We went short at the end of this week. I'm not making this stuff up. You could ask any of my members. It's a great, I say great, it's a good service. I think that you could get a lot out of. I give you a ton of content with Sunday special market notes and special stocks to watch, focus list videos, midweek videos, market notes on Thursday, every Thursday, idea generation every day through sharing of different scans that I watch. People will send me charts, ask me their opinions on things. I don't tell you to buy or sell, but I'll give my opinion on something. Again, it's more of an education. What would you do here? And I'll give again what I think. If you think this can help you in your trading, again, I believe that understanding the market dynamics and what kind of market we in is a huge part of being successful in trading, and that is what we've done to make money so far. Click the subscribe button, right? That's that simple. It's $10 a month. It's a very low investment, right? It's for $10, it's less than a fast food meal now. You can't even get one of those for $10. And it's for the whole entire month. And if you don't like it, you don't have to stay with it, right? But if you find value with it, then it's worth the time. Listen, if you can't make $10 off my content, there's something going on there. All right. So consider that at Alpha Charts 365. Let's get to the video today. State of the market. All right. So we talked about this area being potential support area. We'll see if it bounces or not. And if it doesn't bounce, I think 4,200-ish, which is where the 200-day moving average, and that's where most people are watching too. Like, I'm not making, this is not unique to this video. There are obvious levels that I think we can find potential support. Obviously, we are having a waterfall style decline, and the 200 is the next level that, if this area breaks, if 4,300 breaks, and 4,200 is very, very likely. So let's see how we did for the week, though. So the week was down almost 3% for the week. That's pretty nasty. That is pretty nasty on the week, down 3%. Looking at the RSP, that was down 3.3. So you can see how the equal weight was down more than the cap weighted. And that just tells you that the breadth is really, taking a hit already underneath the 200-day moving average. The cap weight, the equal weighted, and so again, very, very ugly look to it. Looking at the Qs, very, very similar to SPX. Again, maybe a rendezvous with that 200-day, 335-ish roughly. Again, a lot of space here, right? So I'd be very careful. Looking at equal weights. Let's go right here. Here's your equal weights. There's your 200 right there. If this area doesn't hold, right, there's a lot of space down here. It's gonna be, we have room to the downside. So we'll have to see where that goes. Let's look at the weekly, just for the Qs. Yeah, 3.5% on the Qs. Equal weighted Qs, 3%. So now we see how selling was probably greater in the mega caps than across the board. That's kind of interesting, right? Yeah, we're not making any trades based on that information, but it's just kind of interesting to see the dynamics playing out here. Looking at the IWM, below the 200-day, this is the weekly still, down 3.78. And again, we'll see if this area 170-ish, 165 to 170 holds again. If it doesn't, this is a major short setup. But we'll see. I still think we have to test this area and see if it holds or not before we kind of go that route. And you can see price well below the 200-day moving average, waterfall style decline, again, into this area. So indexes, it's hard to be, any bounces have to be, suspect until we get above these moving averages, right? At least that's the way I'm looking at it. Let's look at the individual sectors. You see XLF starting to break down. I think $30 is very, very important in XLF. You see how we tested it a bunch of times. It goes back, way back. This area is being important. So $30 has to hold. But again, we're starting to see this negative move. SMH. It was green on Friday, but overall not a very good look. And chances are a date with that 200-day. That's kind of what the theme is, right? Date with the 200-day. So SMH is not looking good at all. And when you do the cap weighted, it's already underneath the 200-day. So that's something to consider. Let's look at IYT. It's a transportation index, and it is now just broke below the 200-day. Again, we may see some bounces here, right? We're starting to get extended to the downside, like this. Then we saw a little bounce here, right? And then further down, we may get some sort of move like that again. Don't be surprised if we do. That would be totally normal. But anyway, IYT, transportation is not doing well. XLF not doing well. Semiconductors not doing well. Let's look at ITB. Again, ITB coming down, maybe a day with that 200-day as well. Also, transports, I like to do XTN. I don't know why I did IYT. XTN, again, below the 200-day. Again, it tells the same story. But we are getting kind of extended to the downside. Again, so all the sectors are saying things aren't good, right? Things aren't good. So let's look at the internals. Are they screaming danger? Starting with the VIX. VIX, nice move higher, but nothing crazy, right? Like either the market is not pricing in the volatility or there won't be much volatility, right? Because right now there's no pricing in of volatility to speak of. I mean, 17 VIX is nothing, it's average, right? So there's that. It's kind of interesting. The VIX really doesn't want to move. Credit spreads really don't want to move either. Overall, they're still pretty tight, in general. Now, this continues moving higher. That's a different story. We've talked about this for a while. I'm expecting, move higher, consolidation, move higher. You see over time, it kind of does the same thing over and over again. And we don't have this move higher yet. Maybe it starts now, maybe it doesn't. But that's what I'm looking for to maybe start to mark the end of the cycle. But we'll see. What else do we want to look at? Put call ratio. No extreme. Breadth deteriorating for sure, but not extreme, right? Again, we've seen bounces here in the past, right? This is about where it bounced in the past. But I think for true extreme bottom, it's got to go lower. Let's look at the dollar, DXY. And I'm going to go back to bars because I think you see it better. You see that how this is an area that's really interesting. We do have the cross over here, the 50 over the 200. So the trend is definitely higher. It's been relentless, really, since mid-July or so. Does it break out? Well, again, that's going to put a lot of pressure in equities if it breaks out here. So I'd be very careful with that dollar. TNX, which is the 10-year yield. Again, big breakout, little give back. These moving averages need to catch up in general, and maybe it just retests, which would give it maybe a little relief rally. I still think 5%, 5.1, somewhere around there is where this is headed. Again, going to be hard for equities to move higher if this gets up there actually fairly rapidly, right? And let's look at the copper gold ratio, see if that's telling us any information too. Still in this general area, so there's not much information to be there. All right, so overall, I think we are definitely in a bearish tone to the market. I'd be careful out there. I think there's gonna be a lot of wiggles and waggles along the way, but the weight of the market is probably going to be lower. If you want more in-depth analysis, if you want more of directional movements and where where we're going or where I think we're going and and how to make money in the market, consider again subscribing at Alpha Charts 365 on Twitter. I think you'll like it. Like I said, it's $10. It's a very low risk. You don't like it, you can always just cancel it. But I think that you're gonna find a ton of value and be surprised how much content you get. All right. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.